Imagine waking up very early in the morning. I get up very early to pray, but I get up too early, and the sun didn't rise yet, and our early morning prayer begins after sunrise. So I'm standing in Jerusalem, and I watch the sun rise right out of my window over the Temple Mount. So from my vantage point, from my human eyes, it looks like the sun is actually rising, and I'm standing still. Right? And when the sun sets in the evening, it looks like we even say that the sun is setting. Well, how ridiculous. The sun isn't doing anything. The earth is turning, and it's turning in a very odd way. And you need an instrument to be able to measure that. For people, for great minds to come have instruments to be able to measure actually how the earth rotates around the sun. So that's what the Torah is. Torah is that instrument to say, I know from your perspective, it looks like the sun is setting. And we actually use the word sunset and sunrise, but we all know the sun doesn't set and doesn't rise, right? But to us, it really looks that way. So, my dear friends, the Torah is our glasses. This is how the Jew views the world. We say, okay, I'm not going to talk about sunrise and sunset because I've got a Torah that tells me. We actually have in Isaiah that the earth is a circle. But we use the Torah as our glasses, as our telescope to understand the mind of God and to live that way. It's true from our perspective, we might go, well, it doesn't look that way, but that's what Torah is saying. Just follow Hashem, and that's how you're going to be holy. Right. So you're right. This is actually not a Christian concept, but it's a Jewish concept that Christians have embraced. So everybody's on the same page on this one. As it turns out, God speaks to us in a way that we can understand. God is infinite. We are, of course, finite. So there's going to be a gap between who he is and what we can understand. And the Torah was written for men, not angels. It was written for us to understand the infinite creator of the heavens and the earth, who is also merciful. So therefore, throughout the Torah, God is using language through his prophets so that we can understand. And God covers his people with his wings. That doesn't mean God is a chicken. God has an outstretched arm to redeem us. It doesn't mean he has an elbow. This is the language that the Almighty uses to convey ideas that might otherwise be difficult for us to understand. But that's why the Torah is very careful. Is very careful to warn us that be careful. Anochi ish v'lo, anochi el v'lo ish. I am God and I'm not a man. Hosea chapter 11. 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 29. V'gam netzach Yisrael lo yishaker. The glory of Israel will not lie. Ki lo adamhu linochem. He's not a man. He's not mortal. He will never alter. So the reason why medications have so many warnings all over, why does the Tanakh keep going? But God isn't physical. He's not a man. He's only one. He's no other. He's indivisible. There is nothing. Eino bevaldo, Deuteronomy 4:35. There is nothing like what. I mean, it's almost, people sometimes complain about the Torah. It seems like it's just so repetitive. So, like, I got it. Like, I got it. Only one, I got it. Well, the reason is that there is language being used that could be very, very dangerous if there isn't a warning sign. That's why the warning signs are there, because people can make mistakes. And wherever there is a greater chance of a mistake, so then you have many, many, many more warnings. In the same thing in our world, if you on a package of cigarettes, it tells you that cigarettes will kill you everywhere. 50 times over. Every pack has inside, outside, so many warnings. Why so many warnings? And if in Malaysia you go into a store and you want to buy knives to eat dinner, for cutlery or whatever, it may have a warning, be careful, keep away from children, but that's it. Now, I promise you this. A knife, if someone stabs himself in the head with a knife, he's in much greater danger than smoking a cigarette. Much greater danger. So why do cigarettes have, or take the medications we take that could be very dangerous? Warnings everywhere. Why? Because the pill, it's just hard to tell. Like, what the heck is this pill? Just a white little thing. So there needs to be warnings everywhere because it may not be evident, or you might be fooled to think that it's just okay to take these pills. So that's why there's warnings in top to bottom. Be careful. Warning. This can kill you everywhere. This can be fatal everywhere. A knife, on the other hand, it's very easy for us to say that sticking a knife in your head will kill you. So there maybe is one warning. That's enough because we can understand it. If the Torah is repeating it over and over again, the Torah is very concerned that we could stray and that we can create God in our image. That's the worst thing we can do. And then we're in very, very big trouble.